today's press conference at the Bell Center, hosted by YVON, MICHEL, and John Badou, Interbox and Jim. Of course, this event is taking place in D.C. on the 30th. It's Interbox, Showtime. I'm not quite sure. I got to check HBO. They're quite and Mayweather Promotions, so it's going to be a big fight in my hometown, which is Washington, D.C. Today was somewhat of a reunion for me. I had an opportunity to interview both Otis Grant and also YVON MICHEL. We go back till around 2005 in Montreal. I came a little bit earlier than that. So we talked a little bit about how Quebec got into this position as a world boxing venue, what the future may lie, and what the past brought about. You mentioned that you opened the gym after you had your car accident. Yeah. And that car accident, was that a career-ending accident?
Well, it was semi-career ending.
What should it have been?
Well, I had the accident. I was champion of the world when I had the accident, and it took me out of boxing for 5 years. I even coming out of hospital, the doctors told me that I'd never fight again. I'd be lucky to be a recreational athlete again. But training the fighters and having the gym open and working with these guys in the gym. My brother and I had a fighter named Lucien, and Lucien was fighting for a regional title. I don't remember which one, if it was a Canadian or North American or whatever it was, but he was fighting a southpaw. He had no sparring. We're having a hard time getting some sparring for him, and Howard asked me if I would work with him. I said, give me about 2 weeks. Let me start running, get my win back, and then I started training with Lucien and giving him 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds. And then the word got out that I was back in the gym training, looking good, and then it was YVON MICHEL that saw me at a public training session working with him. And when I took my headgear off, he ran over and said, Otis, I heard you were back training, but I had no idea you're at this level. He says, I'm saying, who's this guy that's boxing all in? So that's where the ball started rolling. Everybody was trying to bring me back. And I came back with the goal of opening the gym. I knew I was my best friend, grabbing some coin and putting it towards the gym and having our own place where we could train our own fighters, because we're having issues training our fighters out of other people's gyms. So that was the premise of my comeback, was just to raise some capital quick and put it towards the gym. And since then, the gym, we've trained quite a few fighters. Joe was our first world champion. We took Herman to, I think, 2 world title fights. And we worked with quite a few guys, and now after I fought LeBron Andrade in the world title eliminator, we started training him, and then it came full circle back around to working with these guys, because Bute was within the box at the time, and when I first came back within the box. So it's a story. It's a story, a lot of twists and turns. But at the end of the day,
let me bring up a twist and turn. Along the way, you came across Anthony Stevenson.
Yeah, we had Stevenson as well. We had Stevenson right up until 2 fights before he won the world title. And we trained. Adonis went away. He was here training. He went signed in the States with Luther Bell. He got knocked out, and then he came back. He got released. He came back, and he came to us, and we took him all the way back, all the way up to being number 2 ranked fighter in the world. And then, over contractual disputes and not wanting to be committed, my brother said, listen, man, I don't need the bullshit. Either he's with us or he's not with us, so we let him go. And to this day, we have a lot of people saying that we're crazy to let a guy go when we took him from where he was to where he's at today. And we don't get no credit for Adonis right now. But I mean, people that know that we're the one that brought Adonis back to 1 fight, 2 fights before he fought Dawson and knocked him out. So, but that it's a business. It's the boxing business is very scrupulous, unloyal, very about yourself type thing. And when you find people that's in it with a common goal and want to be successful and working together, then it makes it a lot easier. Right now with Lucien, that's the way it is. We're all on the same page. After he trains, we sit down, we go over his training, his sparring. If he's not happy, some days he has a bad day, we sit down and say, hey, it's going to happen. Have a good day every day in the gym, So that's where my brother and I, right now, we're at with the gym. We have about 6 professionals in the gym.
You have some
Yeah,
undefeated fighters here, right?
Yeah, a couple of them
I
are
like to get
undefeated.
them on camera if I could. I want to ask you something. With the United States being right
next door.
Yeah. Do you think a language barrier? Do you think a language barrier is a factor in the French province in getting access to 300 million or so viewers and fans versus maybe 30 million in all of Canada? Most people, I've been here for a while, so I understand Quebecois. Most of us who have not been here to stay don't understand this wonderful kind of secret place called Quebec.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think language barrier in the sport is not an issue. If you can fight, if you have talent.
I mean the media. I mean, like, if you can't hear it in the language that you used to, sometimes you don't know what's going on.
No, you know what? When Lucien fights over there, they will have it broadcast here either through one of the French media outlets carrying it, and maybe they have the guys in the studio that voice it over, or they might have their own guys on site.
We're gonna try to make a difference in that too. So I'm talking about primary, not somebody as big as Lucien.
Yeah.
What about your guy? He's from Armenia or Romania?
One of them is Armenian, one of them is Romanian.
Can we get him on camera?
Yeah, I'll get him over. It's no problem.
So can we give us a minute? You want to get him?
Yeah. And Jojo Dan is over there too. Yeah. He's like 32 and 3. These guys,
I happened to see your fight last night. Was that fight on TV?
You'll call Flavis.
Hey, Dan. Dan. Was that fight on TV?
Which fight?
His fight.
Yeah, it was on RDS.
Did it go to the States?
No. We haven't.
Can it go to the States?
Yeah, you know why? We're working on a distribution deal with television right now, like that distribute television fight tapes. The problem we're having is that a lot of the distributors, they only distribute like worldwide, like the major fights. So our shows are considered club shows.
That was a great fight. Probably the best fight of the night.
Yeah, actually, they both had. He knocked this guy out in the fourth round, and Eric knocked his guy out in the second round.
Can you introduce him?
This is Eric Bazinian. He's what, 12 and 0, super middleweight. That's with the Grant brothers.
You gonna keep him in super middleweight?
Yes. We're gonna try. And this is Flavius Bia. He's also 10 and 0.
Like your jacket.
Welterweight.
Okay.
Originally from Armenia, originally from Romania. These guys are the future of boxing in Quebec. And it doesn't matter to me where they're from. Like Eric speaks the language, he's been living here for a while. He just came from Romania, so he doesn't speak French yet. But same way Lucien came over from Romania, and he's loved and adopted by the French Quebecois here, I don't see why these guys are doing different.
Why are the Eastern European fighters so good?
They're willing to make sacrifice. They're willing to come over here. Like, we get calls in the gym. If I tell you, Steve, you wouldn't believe. Like every week, from emails and calls and Facebook messages from guys that they're multiple-time champions of Africa and Asia and Europe, but they want you to invest in them before you even see them. These guys are here. They came. We saw them. We could work with them. We can't put money out to bring guys over from overseas, put them up in an apartment and like pay the rent without knowing if they could throw a proper punch. But that's the way, like, that's just some of the stuff, the rubble that you gotta sift through to get to the diamond in the rough.
Also in our countries, it's like the boxing school is good, they teach you good basics, like it's more like technical, than more in the States or here, like it's different.
Yeah, this kid's been boxing since he was a kid. When he came here, he already had like over 80, 90 fights.
How was your English?
His English is good.
Your French?
No French is no good.
Look, you may be the future.
Yeah, these guys are the future. I'm not asking you, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. Okay. I think we're gonna have him fight for one of the regional titles by the end of the year. probably on the September show.
Let me ask you a question. How important the titles? Old school used to fight 6,000 fights before you got a shot at the title.
Yeah,
How important the titles?
right now titles are important. Regional titles are important because they move you. Right? So once you have a title behind, the ratings, they move you up into the world rankings, and then once you're up in the world rankings, you get a shot. Okay. So that's why there's almost like a process. You start, you work your way up, you fight for like Canadian, North American, like Continental America, some USBA, NABO, one of the regional titles that's affiliated with one of the world titles. Okay. And then once you grab that title that's affiliated with one world title, then it could potentially put you in the top 15, top 20 in the world.
Let me ask you
and then from there, people start taking notice of it. You know,
almost everybody now, whether they are most. I'm not saying you're gonna do it, but I'm just saying a lot of people once they get to your level,
yeah,
for some reason, they want to come out of retirement and get 1 or 2 more fights to try to win another championship. Yeah. I'm not saying that that's what you're thinking, but you got real quiet when I say. I mean, I know you're not gonna come out of retirement. Are you settled where you are?
No,
what you gonna do?
I'm good where I'm at. Like right now, I'm 48 years old. I'm not gonna come out of retirement at this age. I mean, I might be in fairly decent shape, but I'll leave the fighting to the young guys. These guys here, we teach them what we know, and then pass it on to them and have them display it in the ring. You know, so I got wife and 2 almost grown kids right now at home. My daughter's 21, my son's 16, and my focus is there. Like there's no reason for me to go back in the ring, you know. So like, if we could work with these guys and make a living doing it, and build these guys and bring a couple of these guys to world championship level, then that's all we can do, and that's what we're hoping to do. And we have a partner with a boxing promotion company because we're having a hard time matching our guys, putting our guys on cards.
What boxing promotion? If you could talk about who
we're partners with Rixa Promotions, a friend of ours, personal friend.
In the States?
Eric, no, here in Quebec. So the show that he came to the last time.
It was a joint venture.
Yeah, it was Eric is the financer. Rixa the financer behind those shows.
Can those shows be broadcast?
Those are shows that we're broadcasting. Yeah, we have entente with RDS.
Okay.
That they're doing the shows. I think when the show coming on? You guys
June 7th.
No, showing on RDS.
Yeah, it's 16th of April.
So April 16th, the show that we just did, they're both going to be fighting. It's going to be on RDS. April 16th. No, it's already happened. The show, we taped it, and the RDS has a tape.
Okay. But they're not fighting before the 30th?
No, not before June 17th.
Before June 17th. Okay.
Yeah, but the last fight they fought will be aired in Quebec on RDS, or in Canada on RDS, starting April 16th. They split the show into 3 shows, and they show three different 1-hour shows with different guys that fought.
Well, we'll see you again for sure, man. I just want to talk to this young man in private just for 1 more second. Thank you so much. All the best to you, my brother. Thank you. All the best to you. Where's Jojo again? So I want to say that we'll see you again in D.C. on the 30th. And I want to say to the fans worldwide that one of the things that we're going to try to do and make an attempt to do, if I just met you, I would say to you, Enchanté de faire votre connaissance. And that is a greeting in French. And if I would say goodbye, I would say au revoir. So I'm going to keep it English for a minute and say that it's been a pleasure. We're going to try to broadcast in French and English, but primarily in the English language so that folks from my hometown, folks from the United States can understand what's going on in this wonderful, wonderful province called Quebec. We're in Montreal. I want to say goodbye, au revoir for now, and we'll see you soon. House of the Mossì Productions, Agency the Mossì Boxing Media, 2016. Peace.